And we're green. Hello, hello, and welcome. Hello and welcome to the rerunning of the Australian Grand Prix here in MMS Formula 1 Season 6 Round 2 of the Championship. Yeah, it's a rerun. Of course, we ran into a few issues last time out. But we're going to neglect them and we're just going to keep going on as if nothing ever happened, and we're going to redo the round. And this time we're, for the first time in this little timeline of ours, it's at Albert Park. A very good circuit. I will be the solo commentator for today, and I think so at the very least, and I don't mind it. On track we can see Alex van der Bremt. As I gotta set one thing up and I missed the thing. There you go, gap leader. And we should be good to go. So, not much else to say. Not many storylines happening after round one. No upgrades. The only storyline at the moment, though, at the circuit would be that the sky is getting quite dark. So yeah, obviously the fallout of Bahrain is that, by the looks of it, Williams and Ferrari are going to be the two teams that will duke it out for the title this season, but everything is still up for grabs. As one very important thing about the circuit I forgot to mention is that corner cuts are allowed in some bits of the track, because the AI line is not the greatest. It ain't. So yeah, just we're gonna have to power through it. And no safety cars. I've decided to sack them indefinitely, so no more of that in MSF1 as VDB starts his lap and the clouds are getting darker and darker. We might have a bit of rain here coming through soon, as he's going to pit this lap, so we're not going to focus on him. And it is raining now as well, so that's even better. We're going to... who is on a lap and I could focus on them? Is there any people like that even? Oh, I'm gonna have to reboot Rakus. Lovely. Alright. Rakus gets rebooted. Obviously this is in line with our little policy about rebooting drivers. Who is that? That's me. That's my car. Why am I questioning my own car? Right. Yeah, that's Valiak. Nobody else is out by the looks of it. Failures aren't really scripted to happen to cars, so we're saved by that. Mustaman, though, also have to be respawned. Great. Mustaman. Right. I'm gonna have a bit of fun with rebooting. This track has a bit of attrition, so... it's gonna spice things up, but there we go. Hendricks Halsaler out on the lap. Pretty much the whole field is out on the circuit now. That's great. I'm just gonna check if anyone has retired. So, if anybody's clock will be ticking and they're out on the circuit, that means we're in big trouble. But by the looks of it, we are good. We are good. We're all good. Great. Yep, we're all good. We're good to go. Sarsala now across the line as Comedy Ports hits the bench mark lap time, and it is faster by 6 tenths, and he gained all of that time in Sector 3, so very good from Sarsala. Daniel Ward also on a lap, only 1/10 behind the Lotus driver. The wet conditions obviously going to somewhat equalise the field here, as the 5-minute mark is going to run out soon. Better set your laps now, otherwise we're going to have some trouble going into the race session. Here we go, Ward way faster now. Seemingly the track is drying. Yeah, I'm gonna try and not stay silent, of course, like in a secondary commentator. It does have its cons, but hey, it is what it is. As it is, Danny Ward 7 tenths faster than Sal Saller on pole position. Rodney Raku's on a lap, and he's 1 second faster than Ward. The track is drying, and you can feel it on the track. Looks like it's going to be more of a straightforward session, as Chris Comedy put just 1/10 behind the Tyrrell driver. Real cooked up a very good car this season. So, 1.7 seconds faster than Ward from Raku's Material goes third fastest. But it looks like it's going to be the Williams driver benefiting from the best track conditions. We'll put it on provisional pole. Gets a good exit. Van Leer now sets a 1:27.8, but it doesn't matter because Rodney Raku is still a whole second faster than him. And there you go, 1.6. Raku's just obliterated the field, to put it nicely. A bit of a screen freeze there, not good. Not good. Stutters are not good. There is Benz Waldinger on a lap as well. His teammate is not. For some reason, I'm having screen freezes. Not enjoying that, no, let me tell you. Miran FG now also 2 seconds behind, so I think the lap time put in by Raku's is going to be the one that is going to pretty much settle everything. Plenty of cars in the pit lane though, not something we want to see. So here we go across the line, Miran FG, and it is 4 seconds off. That's not a good lap time at all. Valek not on circuit, a lot of top runners not out on track. Pfeiffer already low on fuel, but the track is dry. Still, I don't think there's going to be a major improvement. Gerhard Hertz smoking away. Please, for the love of God, set that lap time. I will not be able to restart you. As Radianta, I think it is. Set a lap time, I'm not sure. Yeah, it is Radianta. 2.5 seconds off though, so Raku's, I think, just miraculous in getting that run. Please, Gerhard, get it to the end of the line. I beg of you. Through the final corner, and I will not have to reboot him. Let's go. We are saved. As it's a 5.0. Oh dear lord, that's a howler. Valiak out on track. Dicky Speed out as well. Pfeiffer still on the lap despite the low fuel, so the Leighton House team risking it all with this little lap here. They really want to nail it, I suppose. 1.8 seconds off though. They did leave the pit lane in the best conditions. We're going to have to see what they can do here, but it could be a very good qualifying position for Pfeiffer. Team radio is active as always, and it's VDB. Here we go. Through the final corner. Yvonne Guillou, meanwhile, Guillou puts her car up into P3, 2.2 seconds off, and now across the line from Tobias Pfeiffer. 3 seconds off, very good lap time from Pfeiffer. Poslovic in 10th, ahead of Salsaler, so the drying track is making a difference. As that's, speaking of Salsaler, he is leaving the pit lane. As he suffered voice crack, that is embarrassing. Falcon hasn't not left the track yet. Here we go. Mihail Valek out on circuit. And he is going faster than Rodney Raku already for Sector 1. Into the chicane that's now gone on the modern layout, of course. Hops the curb a bit. Decent exit into the fast left-right chicane. Bit of a break on the limit here. Gets a decent exit, 5/10 up on his teammate. into the right-hander. Rides the curb. Into the two final corners. Crucial bit of the circuit. On the verge of track limits. Gets a good exit out of the final corner. And now it's just a blast down a start-finish straight. And it's going to be pole position by 7/10 for Michael Valiak. Of course, though, the session is not over. But with the sky still being dark, I don't think much is going to change. VDB now out on the circuit. Michael Maher also out on track. 9 minutes to go, and not many top runners. Not many cars yet with a lap. A cause for concern, of course, for a plethora of reasons. Ankurinova on a lap, though, and it's not looking like a good one. And oh dear, that's a horrible lap from Ankurinova. Of course, the Williams cars are insane when it comes to their performance around here, but it's still not excusable for the Lotus to be so far off. Into the two final corners goes the Ukrainian, and is it going to be a decent lap time? I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be over 5 seconds. If I got 6 seconds, 7, 8, 7.7. Oh, that's the slowest lap time. And that's concerning, as now we're going to go with Matthew Falcon on board, the Polish driver, in the McLaren. Van der Bremen on 9 seconds off. I think something's wrong with the circuit. That is not normal. 4/10 off. The McLaren not really a top car anymore, so this is a good start to the lap from Matthew here. One-time world champion. Riding the grass, riding the curbs aggressively in the McLaren. Speeding through here. One second off. It looks like it's going to be a decent time. Nevertheless, for the man in white and red, just like his national flag. It would be interesting to envision Racing Team Poland with Marlboro's liveries, but purely coincidental, and it's just malarkey talk anyways. So here we go, out of the final corner. Speeding through, it looks like it's going to be a decentish time, and it is going to be P3 for Matthew Falcon, 1.4 seconds off. Still a decent lap, I have to say. Rodney Racki was out on the track as well, trying to improve. Kroneholmer starts his lap. Miller on her way to start a lap, and that's Joel Michael Maher, and that's a horrible lap time from the German. 23rd. Oh dear. That is far, far, far from ideal. Ankurinova did improve on her lap, but it's still not comfortable whatsoever. Zigalate Friedman on the lap as well, but it's a slow one. Tina Curtis approaching the lap time. Adrian Fraser on the lap. His teammate Miran FG in 19th currently. Also, it's fine. I can handle it myself. No worries, Miran. So, Fraser on a lap, not looking too shabby either. It doesn't look like he's going to be the greatest of lap times we've seen today. So much time lost for sector 2, and it's also caused by a smoking engine, so I think Fraser should just hurry up and send the lap time, because otherwise he'll be out of the session and we will be running in a lot of hot water. Friedman, the slowest lap time of the session at the moment. Fraser might beat her to it though. Out of the final corner, what's it going to be for Adrian? Lack of power on the straight is definitely going to hurt him here. Kroneholmer 12 seconds off and 9.1 seconds off of Fraser, so he's faster than Friedman as well. Painful. Shahin also having a very bad lap time here. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know why the Williams cars are so good in qualifying, but I mean, kudos to them. Shahin not losing too much time, but at the moment with this pace he's going to be in the whereabouts of John Keefe, I assume, if not closer to his teammate Schwell Michael Maher down in 23rd. As Matthias Giannini has not left his pit box yet. Booting him out would prevent the glitch, yeah. But I'd rather play it safe than sorry, right? I'd rather people set lap times instead of them not setting lap times, if that makes sense. But here we go. It's where is Shahin? 24th. That's worse than Michael Maher. What on earth is going on? Ankudinova barely making it in at the moment. Friedman barely making it in. Fraser not making it in, but then again that engine is not having fun. Tina Curtis out of the session at the moment. Kronholmer out of the session at the moment. Matthias Giannini hasn't even gone out on the circuit. I will reboot him. I know this is breaking my own rules. I am sorry. I'm breaking my own rules, but there's a good justification. There is none. I'm sorry. One-time occasion, though, shouldn't happen again. I apologise. Karamavakis, though, starts his lap now, and it should be a good one. The Jordan team has a lot of pace. So here we go. Starting his lap goes the Greek driver. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the session. Giannini should have enough time to leave the pits and set a lap time. And he's already leaving the pits, so here we go. He's going to set a lap time, and every single car will have set one. Yay. Karamavakis, let's see, that's the Sector 1 split here, and he's 3 seconds off. It's not going to be a good lap time. For comparison, Miller is just 31st. Dearie me. Something's just up, dude. This track is cursed, man. You have Tobias Pfeiffer in 11th, Igor Witt 10th in the Ligier. Any other weird results? Musterman in 22nd ahead of both of the Ferraris. It's a very cursed session as Jafari Blackwood is at the moment qualifying. And Abondanzieri is going to make it another start. Alexander Park also qualifying in the Brabham. That's a bit insane. I love running qualifying for this reason, but you might want to ask yourself if this is what the people want. The qualifying session is really unpredictable in the midfield, or rather anywhere outside of the top two, and it's Karamavakis in 32nd. The Jordan cars are under pressure of being knocked out as Matthias Giannini now. We're going to focus on him. As he's about to start his lap and finish qualifying for the rest of us. Here he is now on the flyer. Question is, will it be a flying lap or will it be a slow one? And it's actually a decent lap considering what the Leighton House is. This is a good lap time. This is better than the Ferraris for Sector 1. How is this possible? It shouldn't be possible. Okay, still, that's better than the Ferraris in Sector 2 too. Oh, the wiggle is there just for the race. It's for some reason it doesn't appear on the flying laps. And it is going to be 7 seconds off, but that is enough to qualify the man in 29th, and that knocks out Isiakos Karmevakis out of the session. Karmevakis is currently out. In the... Oh my days, wait, Fraser's out. The only logical car that makes sense to be knocked out here is Kroneholmer. And the session is over. Park is gonna qualify. Comedy stays in 8th. No one's gonna improve anymore. And that means it is game over for Karmevakis, Friedman, Fraser, Ankaya, Curtis, and Kroneholmer. Oh, that's going to be a spicy grid for the midfield fight for the points here at Albert Park. That is very good to see. Very good to hear. But that is a very mixed up grid. You have Blackwood and the Modena in front of two pretty much top cars with Ankudinova and then Miller. And Karmevakis is not going to improve here. That is woeful. And it is session over and he is out. Fraser's already retired the car. Tina Curtis on an improvement, but will she be able to squeeze something more out? She needs 2 seconds at the very least. Squeezed out if she wants 2 seconds. At the moment it's just 2/10 sorry, of a personal best improvement, so I don't think the AGS is going to go through into the next session. It's only going to be Hertz qualifying for the event, and by the looks of it I am correct, it's just 0.3 of an improvement, and Miller actually outqualifies Van der Brempt in the final laps of the session, but not like it matters all that much because Ankudinova had a bit of an engine failure, that's why she struggled. FG also out and Teller also out, so everyone has set their laps. What about Valyak? Valyak also theoretically retired, but here you go. Those are qualifying results, and we're gonna have a bit of a intermission period, but I'm not gonna mute myself, I'm gonna keep talking to you guys. So just as a reminder, it is Karmevakis, Friedman, Fraser, Ankaya, Curtis, and Kroneholmer out of the race. They did not qualify. So yeah, that's the situation. Australian GP. If you hear background noises, I apologise. Here you go. So the intermission period is still going to take place, but here we go. Mihail Valyak on pole position for the race, ahead of his teammate, and the championship looks to be just between the two Williams cars at the moment. Not the greatest thing for entertainment, of course, but hey, I mean, it happens. It is what it is. This is racing. Look at 2020. 2020 was a decentish season for Formula 1 and still wasn't the best one when it comes to the title fight. Ankaya and Fraser. Ankaya, another DNQ. Fraser will not be able to start his second race in Formula 1. And then Friedman and Karmevakis. Friedman unlucky because she was close to scoring points last time out in Bahrain, and Karmevakis, the man who finished in 21st, not even going to start. Drama. No double DNQs for teams though, which is good to see. Spices everything up in the fight. So here we go. Moving to the race session now. No, that's not the button, that's the button. On the team radio, Hemart Hertz celebrating going through to the session. I understand that enthusiasm. Here we go. And we are ready to go into the race session now. Let's go. Let's get this done and over with. And it looks like it's going to be a very cloudy race start. We're going to quickly go through the grid together. So on pole position, it's Michael Vanek followed by his teammate Rodney Rackus. Then you have Matthew Falcon with the McLaren, very good session from the man. And then you have Johannes Van Leer in the Benetton BMW team. Then you have Yvonne Guillou, very surprising result from the Scuderia Italia driver as she lines up in P5, followed by Giuseppe Radianto, the reigning champion. Then you have Daniel Ward, followed by Chris Comedipor, Plush Materiał, Igor Witt, Tobias Pfeiffer, Dicky Speed, Stefan Poslovic, Hendrik Salsaler, Max Bizonia, Michael Teller, Tobias Reaper, John Keefe, Miran FG, Halil Shahin, Shuel, Michael Maher, Ben Zwaldinger, Alexander Park, Max Musterman, Roberto Moreira, Gerard Hertz, Jafari Blackwood, Sofia Ankudinova, Matthias Giannini, Raimundo Abondanzieri once again, Mary Miller and Alex van der Bremt rounds off the grid for this race. And without further ado, we're going to start the race. The lights are going to slowly start coming on, and we're going to start the first ever race at Albert Park. And we're green in Melbourne, and that's a good start from both of the Williams cars, and they rocket away, and Yvonne Guillou is into the podium positions, I think, as the two Williams cars touch. Varner gets in front of Rackus. It is Falcon and the Frenchman side by side for the race lead. So not for the race lead, sorry, for P3. I got a bit ahead of myself, got reminded of the days of Céline Lucien for a split second there. Comedy-Paul to the inside of Ward. Ward has to worry about the fundamental of speed as well. Okay, that is done. No incidents at the back. This is where corner cutting is somewhat allowed because the AI line is not the greatest. Michael Teller and Max Bizzoni side by side. It looks like Teller is going to get that P16 for himself. Final points bank position. Bizzoni tries to fight back on the outside, but doesn't really get the space. The two Ferraris side by side. Horrible qualifying for them, and they're not really able to capitalize. From a start here, that's Michael Maher to the inside of Shahin, side by side once again. The two Scarlet Red Ferraris go, and it looks like Shahin's going to have the upper hand. Michael Maher still there though, with the overspeed on the outside. This is another piece of the track where corner cutting is allowed because it slows you down, and Michael Maher gets through his teammate. Up in front, someone is already smoking, as that's a move from Daniel Ward, and that, I believe, is the car of Johannes Van Leer. Is some PTSD, I believe, for Johannes. I'm not completely sure if it is his car or Radianta's, but by the looks of it, it is the BMW engine. No, it isn't. It isn't the BMW engine of Van Leer. It is the engine of Giuseppe Radianta, as Michael Vanek defends from Rackus and takes the lead of the race. Yeah, Falcon's already pulling over. There is no power at the back of that Honda engine, and that's terrible news for McLaren, as the curse they have that they were given in season 5 looks like it will be once again a problem for them, as Michael Maher side by side with Pfeiffer gets the better run through here. The Austrian driver tries to fight back, but he is falling down the order very, very quickly here. We're just waiting for Radianta to pull over, really, as Rackus retaliates onto his teammate side by side, and Rackus gets the move on. Falcon now is able to fight for the race lead. Guillou is doing amazingly to defend from Van Leer at the moment in that Scuderia Italia. Van Leer unable to make any moves yet. Rackus into the leaders, Falcon and Valiak very close together. Radianta now about to fall into the clutches of Igor Witt and the pack behind him. That's one sturdy and smoky Honda engine though. Thought Radianta would pull over by now. And actually now on the straight, sort of making a gap as Salsaler has passed Witt. Michael Teller, nearly a kamikaze dive, doesn't really manage to make it stick as Material now tries to go on to Poslovic. Poslovic doing really well in the points for the Roos team. That's an amazing drive by him at the moment, as that's Van Leer and Guillou battling for fourth, and that is the Dutchman in front of the Delara. Ward now wanting to put his hands on that car, as he obviously drove it for a few races in season 5. Went back to Tyrrell the team he debuted with in Season 4, doing pretty decently at the moment, but he has to be cautious about Chris Comedipo right behind him. As when it comes to the battle for the lead, it is Rakus and Valiak shooting away. And Rakus gets the overspeed on his teammate. It's going to be side by side under the quick chicane. And Rakus gets it. Wow. Well, that is a really good move. That is impressive. Falcon also very poor run. I don't know what happened there. Looked like maybe an even engine power cut as Gilu also uses this opportunity. Sends it to the inside and gets the move done. Falcon, no way to fight. Comedipo got ahead of Ward. Ward, though, on the outside, found some space. Is not able to send it back. Material, thinking about a move on Vit. Not really succeeding it. Shahin now onto Poslovic. Side by side. And Halil on the outside. The Ferrari contact with the LaRousse and unable to get it through as Radianta has finally stopped his car. Unfortunate. Valiak and Rakus now battling for P1, and the Croatian driver gets it done with ease. But it's going to be a back and forth battle as Van Leer now joins this little squabble with a large gap to Comedipo. As that's Saller now joining the fight, sending it on to Daniel Ward. A beautiful fight here between the Lotus and the Tyrrell. The Lotus gets the move on. Nice and easy. Saller, experienced F1 driver, no issue right there. Jafari Blackwood now separated from the rest of the pack, but that's because he's in a Modena. And that's not a good car in race pace. Volninger is also out of the race. Sorry for the silence. I'm doing stuff, important stuff, but it's a gearbox failure for Benz, so he is out of the race. Sadly, Ligier not able to go further. But yeah, getting back onto the topic, Van Leer on the radio saying that those Williams cars are hard to follow, but he's going to try his best to do so. As, yeah, they are hard to follow. Look on the straight, they're pulling away from the Benetton, because the BMW engine lacks a bit of power compared to the Renault one. That's a given though, BMW is a bit of a new manufacturer to MMSF1, but that doesn't stop Van Leer from trying to do things as Valiak got the race lead. Rackers got slowed down, but pinched Van Leer, nearly chopping his front wing off. That is, yeah, Van Leer is lucky to not have any damage, really. Lucky that this did not escalate further. Meanwhile, the Ferraris punching themselves through the field once again, as Michael Maher is already up into 8th, as was the case in Bahrain, where he also had an amazing comeback from qualifying very low on the grid, as now he goes to the inside of Daniel Ward and executes the move perfectly. And that's a beautiful, beautiful job done. Raku's got in front of Valiak in the midst of all of this, as we're aboard the BMW-powered Benetton once more. Gets decent exit, but the Williams car of Valiak gets a better one. And I think this race is going to be between the two Williams cars unless something happens to them, because they just have so much more advantage in high-speed corners. It's insane to compare it to the rest of the field. Let's see, here we go on the main straight doing tandem drafting, I guess, if you use NASCAR terminology right there. Valiak tries to send it to the inside, but it doesn't work out. Massive half spin on the curb there, and gets it done as that's Matthew Falcon out. Yeah. Oh my god, it's a gearbox failure. Both of the McLarens are out with 7 laps into the race. Oh, it wasn't even that bad in Season 5. Oh, that is horrible news for the team. And I think every single Honda-powered driver is now sweating massively. But yeah, Valiak and Raku's still battling for the race lead, as that definitely shakes the order up. That definitely puts a spanner in the works of the McLaren team's championship hopes. They already look pretty down, as that's Valiak to the inside. That's not going to work. As what I wanted to say is that McLaren looked already a bit underpowered in Bahrain, and now it looks even worse for them. I don't know how that is even possible, but not really going to wonder about the nature of that. This is racing as Valiak now to the inside of his teammate. No space there. So close, as Van Leer got a bit frustrated with Raku's squeeze a few laps ago, saying that it was dangerous. Maybe. I'm not the one to judge here. I did say that it was a bit iffy myself. As Valiak now right behind Rakus, he's going to send it again. It's another attempt, but it's a failed one again. It gets a bit of a bad exit, but that's still enough to defend from Johannes. That is insane. I don't know what Williams did to their car, but it's way better than last season, as Shaheen now onto Pisonia and unable to get through him. Still in the slipstream of the Real, though. Massive speed advantage on the straight. To the side goes the Ferrari, and that's an easy clear-cut move from the Ferrari driver. Both of them advancing very rapidly here, as I forgot to mention Michael Maher is already up into 5th, as Salsaler, was it coming in, or was it? I think we're going insane. I thought Salsaler was coming in this lap. As that's Valiak and Rakus once again battling, and that did not work out. That did not work out. Valiak still chasing down Rakus, trying to find the gap, but now he makes a mistake. Loses a bit of time. Van Leer still unable to gain anything onto the pair of white, blue and yellow Williams cars. I have to tell you though, this has been a very good race at the moment. We are just 9 laps in though, so not even half race distance. Van Leer still chasing down the pair. Comedy Boy is going to catch up soon, as Salsaler on the back of Yvonne Guillou. The Frenchwoman defending with all that she can, with all the possibilities and capabilities of the Scuderia Italia, but the Lotus car is a bit better. It should get through that Dallara rather quickly. Any interesting stories is definitely the speed and the points. Stefan Poslovic also doing very well in 14th for the LaRousse team. That's 3 points for them. And Kudinova, also very good comeback at the moment, up at the 16th. I don't think anything else is all that shocking. Maybe the fact that Alexander Park is able to be 3 seconds faster than his teammate. Maybe that is a bit shocking. Valiak and Rakus now, and Valiak has taken the race of the lead. Lead of the race, sorry, yes, race of the lead, great. Solo commentary. And now his Finnish teammate is having to see the back of that Williams car. This allowed Van Leer to catch up a bit, just 3/10 of a gap between them now, but still not attacking range, not close enough. Still lacks that little something to attack them. And this is crucial because Michael Maher and Company are catching up as Michael Maher has gone through his fellow German countryman, and that means that Michael Maher is free to push as much as he wants, and that definitely will spice things up. Speaking of spicing things up, there is Rakus to the inside, and he gets it done. No further comment needed here. Van Leer is trying to get himself around Valiak. He is very close to the back of the Williams car, but here we go. This is the bit of the track where they seem to be better than the rest of the field, which is Sector 2. And there you go, exited the corner through this little right-hander. Look at the speed advantage. I don't know, again, what Williams did to the car, but it's phenomenal. It truly is phenomenal. Valiak now in the slipstream of Rodney, trying his best here to get in front. 2 championship contenders this season, clear championship contenders, and by the looks of it, this status will remain with them. But then again, this is just round 2 of the championship. Everything can change. Car development is a thing in Formula 1 as Shahin broke into the top 10, and he's trying to get himself even further up the field as he's right on the back of Mateusz Materio, who told his team to tell Yvonne to defend like a lion, referencing, of course, Fernando Alonso. Good stuff. Good stuff. Michael Maher catching up to Van Leer. I think the Dutchman should start to think about defense instead of offense, because that Ferrari is rapid today as we're approaching the pit window ever so closely. As here you go, Michael Valiak confirming he's doing a stop this lap, undercutting in the Williams team. That is unheard of. Definitely interesting. Definitely interesting move from the British team. That is certainly a twist. As Reaper on the back of Ankarinova trying to steal that 1 point away from her in the Tyrrell. Reaper not the best start of the season, definitely expected something more from him. Just going through the order, not much happening. Back to the front, Valiak trying to pit it, slowed the whole field down, and Michael Maher already trying to settle onto Van Leer, gets a better exit than him from the little flick here, and that is going to be an attempt from the German, and it's a successful one. He flies through Johannes Van Leer, and the Ferrari is up into 3rd. They battled in Bahrain, and once again, Michael Maher comes out victorious. As Valiak pits in, slows the pack behind him a bit, just a tiny bit, just to get a bit on the nerves. As Michael Maher's radio is malfunctioning, and before the overtake, Van Leer said on the radio that he could see the little red rocket ship, as he calls it, approaching him. As here we go, it's a long stop for Valiak. He might be held up by Igor Witt here. He's not, but it's a long stop, 16 seconds flat. From the Williams driver, as Michael Maher has pulled away by 1.3 seconds from Van Leer. He is flying, and he's trying to chase down Rodney Rakus, as that's Valiak leaving the track in a bit of traffic. Ooh, that's Keith leaving the pits, and ooh, close call. Miran Evji gets through Michael Valiak as he's on cold tyres, but that is too close for comfort. Gilu crossing the white line is just going to be a warning, can't really penalise that, and Shahin also leaving the pits. Shahin didn't really gain anything, as a matter of fact he lost time, as Igor Witt, I think, has a failure. It is a failure, he's stuck in 1st, right out of the pits. That is woeful, and that's just now Jafari Blackwood coming through to these guys. That Modena is so slow in race pace. Rakus Michael Maher coming in. Van Leer doing the long run with the BMW at the back of his car. Interesting, he's going to lead a race for the first time this season. That is a shocker. I didn't predict this would happen, considering the testing that I've done. Congrats, I suppose. Nice job. But here we go. Rakus Michael Maher and Company Port into the pits. Daniel Ward as well. Sansaller, of course, doing a long run. The Lotus team have adopted the Golden Strat that Leighton House and Tyrrell did before. Ragu's already off the jacks, gets a nice gap between himself and Michael Maher, and he's gonna leave in front of Valiak by a square mile. That is a large gap, and Goodinova though gets through. Michael Maher gets through without a hitch. Miller hits the back of the Ferrari. That's unsportsmanlike. Michael Maher, not much he can do about it. Valiak though behind Michael Maher, behind Comedypaw. At the moment, Chris Comedypaw is going to get himself into P3. Dearie me, that is a horrible strategy from Williams. They're not shy of putting bias onto their drivers, as is the tale of Ratko Betes and Tobias Blumschein, but this just... that early on in the season, maybe it's an experimental strategy, I don't know, I don't want to throw shade on the team, but I will throw shade on the team. That is a bit appalling. Witt is officially out of the race. Johannes van Laer doing, I think, one more lap before coming in. So a very nice strat here from Benetton. Yeah, he's going to come in this lap. They extended the stint as much as they can because by the looks of it, this is the way to go around Albert Park. It is. The overcut, and Sal Saller is going to maximise it. He's going for one more lap. Teller's going to have to pit in as Pisonia is coming in now, and I think, well, while Pisonia might not have the lead of the race, he is going to be battling for a very, very good Real double finish. Actually, not really. Ripper and Miller also coming in now with one of the footworks. I think that's... yeah, that is John Keefe. Out of the pits goes Pisonia in 11, gonna be 12, I think, as Giannini. Oh, there goes Giannini, yeah. And Materio. Materio gets through the Brazilian rather swiftly. No, yes, he does. Amondieri also coming in this lap. But Sal Saller's strategy, definitely an interesting one. Definitely curious to see what the Lotus team will cook up this race, because I think they will try and attack the championship by strategy, not by qualifying pace or race pace alone. As Valiak onto the back of Comedypaw, he's going to try and get himself onto the podium that he's lost in the pit lane as Rakos is flying away. Ankulinova not coming in yet, which will give the lead to Sal Saller. So officially, Johannes van Laer has led 2 laps, I believe. So, no, sorry, there's going to be 1 lap. If you're a statistics nut and you want to brag about something, then sure. As Reaper and Poslovic are out of the race. Poslovic and Reaper. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh. Oh, that was bound to happen with the pit lane exit there. Who do you even blame here? Oh man, I mean, it doesn't matter who you blame, they're both out of the race. So it's going to be taken post-race for any announcements to be done, but that is just unfortunate. Poslovic just drives into the back of Reaper. He could have seen him from a mile away. You can see, as a matter of fact, the black car on your right-hand side, visible from, well, ever since we were on board with Poslovic, and that he just drives straight into him. So the American not really impressing anyone with that. Back to the front, Pfeiffer holding up Comedypaw and Valiak. Not ideal, but he's going for one more lap. That's determination right there from the Austrian. Van Laer, though, is leaving the pit in second. What? The overcut has worked wonders for Johannes Van Laer as he's in front of Michael Maher. He's jumped him. The long run has worked. Oh, that's actually surprising. I think this is one of the first few times in last races that the overcut has been the better strategy. Isn't that curious? That means that the Lotus cars... Wait, Sal Saller is going for one more lap. Are you insane? Oh, he really wants to take it home. Hendrik is not messing about here. I don't think running that long, though, is going to benefit him. He's probably going to run out. I mean, Pfeiffer can make it as Max Mustermann is out of the race. What happened to him? It's a gearbox failure. Not going to really bother showing that. Where it is... Pfeiffer is still running though, and Pfeiffer is pulling away from Valiak and Comedy-Paw. What? How? How is this possible? He pulled a nearly 3-second gap. I guess that's how light he is. He's coming in this lap though, so it might not work out for Sarsala. He is coming in now with 4 laps to go. An insane risk taken by the Lotus team and the Estonian. I wish it works out, I really do, because that would be one hell of a strategy done by the British team. Champions, mind you. And Kudinova gains a lot as she leaves the pit lane without a front wing. Oh no! What? Oh, you... Wait, okay, so... Pfeiffer gets put in, and then Kudinova decides that this is impossible for a March to run that high. So, she takes Pfeiffer out and drives as if nothing happened. That is going to be... that is going to be a hefty penalty. And it is going to be most likely at least one race ban. I'm going to confirm it post-race, but most likely... a multiple race ban, as we have given penalties out for that in the past. As one more important thing, Daniel Ward out of the race. Oh dear. Oh, and that is the engine's gone. Oh, that is so unfortunate. At least he kept it out of the racing line in theory, but oh man, that is gutting for Daniel Ward. No matter the team he's in, reliability plagues him. And that's a smoking engine of Roberto Moreira, I believe. So even more things to worry about for drivers. Oh man. Question is, how is Sarsala doing? Sarsala is going to make it to the pit lane. He is going to make it to the pits. Question is now... where will he leave? Because Rakos is already approaching the final corner. He's definitely not gonna take the lead of it. Sarsala is definitely gonna be the race leader, but he might be in P3. All things considered, there is Van Leer, there is Michael Maher. It's not gonna be P3. It's gonna be P4 for Hendrik, though. No, that's Valiak. It's gonna be P6 then, in front of Chris Comedy-Paw. So still very good strategy from the Lotus team, all things considered. As Alexander Park and Moreira have retired. Abbondanzieri also blew up, and Alexander Park has no wheel. Uh-oh. Oh, this race is just like Adelaide, with a few laps to go. What? So, yeah, Moreira's engine blows up, and then Park just doesn't react to it at all. A zero reaction from Park. I mean, the car, he only slowed it down, but he didn't move away. He hit the back, and then he fully smashed it, and oh, thank God for the engine cover there. Could have been a nasty accident with that Pirelli tyre. But a bizarre crash between Alexander Park and Moreira. He just loses control. Nothing he could do at this rate. Very bizarre. And then Kudinova is not coming in for a front wing. No, it didn't hit his head. It didn't hit his head. It was visible. It didn't hit his head. It hit the engine cover. Besides, he's still going as a... Abbondanzieri is still go... You know, he's not going anymore. But it didn't hit him on the head. Still, a near-death experience is not what you want in Formula 1. Yeah. It didn't even hit him. Yeah, it hit the side. Love the hitboxes on those things. Giannini now leaves the pits. And Ankudinova, of course, pitting now to change her front wing. That's not good. Teller chasing that material. Anything happening? Not really. The field has spaced themselves out, apart from the fact that Michael Maher is flying on the circuit as he has the fastest lap of the race. As a matter of fact, both of the Ferraris, the only cars that the Ferrari team has the fastest sector times on the circuit. Michael Maher fastest in sector 1 and 3, Shahin fastest in sector 2. So the Scuderia is flying now with all her might as Michael Maher is melting the gap between himself and Van Leer to 0. As Van Leer is not happy on the radio, he says that, dude, the gap is only increasing in front and decreasing behind, we need to work on this, guys. Someone has high expectations here. But yeah, the gap is melting lap by lap, and I think Michael Maher, by the end of this lap, will be trying to do something. Will be trying to attack that Benetton properly. Yeah, look at that. The gap is already below a second. Michael Maher is flying in the slipstream now. Gets a good run. That Ferrari is faster than the Benetton. You can just see it. And Michael Maher is in a zone. He's finally in the field of his own. It looks like he's become way better than he was before. As throughout this little lap that we followed him through, he gained just shy of 0.6 per lap. So he's going to be very close to Van Leer at the end of the lap, and Michael Valek is also closing in on these two. Michael Teller battling with Material. No advancements made in that field though. Giannini currently in a point, same with Keith, FG and Dicky Speed for Front Metal. So a very good result for those guys at the moment. Back to the front though, it is a battle between Michael Maher and Van Leer as the final lap has been started. Seemingly ages ago by Rakus. He's just flown away in his own little world, 4 seconds in front of their in front of his rivals. The gap is going to be close. Oh, I don't know if actually Michael Maher will be able to. He's over pushing the car now. He definitely has the speed advantage, but the gap is stagnant at 0.7. Oh, it's going to be difficult. Michael Maher is not going to have it that easy as I thought he would. Van Leer might actually keep this spot. Let's see. Slipstream is powerful in these cars. The overspeed is powerful. It's just a case of whether or not Michael Maher will be able to use all of it here. On the exit into the slipstream. It's going to be now or never, really. He will have the final corner as his last-ditch attempt, but I think it's going to be Van Leer who's going to take home that P2, but nothing really matters, as here we go. Rodney Rakus across the final corner. He's going to be the first ever winner at Albert Park, and he becomes a new Australian Grand Prix winner as he comes across the line and he wins the Australian Grand Prix. Then you have Van Leer and Michael Maher, as Marie Miller is out of the race on the final lap, I believe. I am correct. And that was from points paying positions, so drama for Jordan this race. Nothing worked out as it should. Engine done. Honda cooked itself in Australia. I guess the new saying should be put a Honda on a Barbie. That is awful. That's I think one of my worst jokes. I actually apologise. But yeah, that has been the race. Rodney Rakus is the race winner. Michael Maher with the fastest lap, which is going to wait for the race to finish, and we have a battle to resolve between Gerrit Hertz and Dicky Speed. Dick Speed here, doing all he can to defend from the AGS. They will score 1 point at the minimum, thanks to the Dutchman. And yeah, that's pretty much history now. There's a point for them, and Fundamental also scores the first point in F1. Nice job. And Van der Brempt with a smoking engine finally gets to the line, and we're going to wait a bit for Anko Di Nova, of course, but that might be a finish at the back of the field. And then Jafari Blackwood lapped this race. At least the Modena got home. The little Modena that could. But yeah, Michael Maher with the fastest lap, Raku's race winner. Driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Michael Maher. Like, that was another fantastic drive. Second driver of the day award in a row for him, but I mean, it's deserved. Started from 23rd, I believe, on the grid, and got himself into an amazing P3. There is your race winner, Rodney Rakus, and that has been the race. So, quickly going to post the results, quickly going to post any penalties if they will apply, and we're going to see in the next race this weekend on Saturday and probably Sunday. We're going to see about that. Well, we will see each other on Sunday. Just times are TBA this weekend for EFO and Formula 1 combined, so be sure to check those out. I've been Kai, and we'll see you in the next one. Be sure to be safe on roads, and away you see the belt, and bye bye.